Overnight, the global picture is being shaped by a fragile Middle East diplomacy push, a still resilient U.S. economy, and intensifying questions about who controls the world's most powerful AI. On global conflict, the U.S.-Iran track is moving quickly but remains uncertain. U.S. officials have publicly outlined a 14-point memorandum of understanding that would include an immediate end to oil sanctions, while President Trump is signaling the signing could still fall through. The Financial Times reports Trump is also pushing back on claims the U.S. would invest in a large Iran-related fund after bipartisan backlash. In the region, BBC reports Iran has sent tankers loaded with oil past a U.S. military blockade line in the Gulf of Oman, a development that will be watched closely for escalation risk and for what it means for energy markets. Separately, Israel has launched fresh strikes on Lebanon despite Trump's public criticism, and Al Jazeera reports the death toll in Gaza since the declared ceasefire has passed 1,000, underscoring how limited the ceasefire's effect appears to be on the ground. On the global economy, the U.S. Federal Reserve has held rates steady under new chair Kevin Warsh, reporting from Al Jazeera, and the Financial Times points to inflation pressures linked to higher energy prices, even as U.S. retail sales data suggests consumers are still spending and the economy remains robust. The tension for markets is clear. Growth is holding up, but energy-driven inflation could keep policy tighter for longer. On artificial intelligence and the technological revolution, the conversation is highlighting a strategic risk for Australia, dependence on US-based AI models and infrastructure, and the reality that US policy settings could restrict access. It's a reminder that AI is not just a productivity tool but a geopolitical dependency, with implications for government services, business continuity, and national capability. Turning to Australia, accountability and institutional trust are prominent themes. ABC reports KPMG is the latest example in a long line of Australian accounting scandals, renewing scrutiny on audit quality and corporate governance. ABC also reports HSBC is heading to federal court after customers say the bank fought them tooth and nail over losses from a long-running spoofing scam, with allegations of system failures. Both stories land amid broader cost of living pressure, where households are less able to absorb shocks. In federal politics, Pauline Hanson's National Press Club appearance continues to reverberate. ABC reports her attack on a Guardian journalist has been labelled an assault on press freedom by the media union, drawing criticism from Labour and Liberal MPs. The conversation describes Hanson as off the leash in the press club setting, while The Guardian argues her long-held views are resonating with a more bitter and resentful public mood. The material development here is the widening political and institutional response, not just the speech itself. On the Australian economy and housing, SBS notes buyers are trying to pick the bottom as prices soften, but experts warn timing the market is difficult. In Perth, the SMH reports that even after Tuesday's rate pause, buyers need to earn significantly more than they did in January to service a typical mortgage, highlighting how affordability remains strained. For the public service-adjacent policy agenda, the conversation reports childcare workers have been guaranteed a pay bump backed by $3.6 billion over 2 years, with uncertainty about what happens after that funding window. Finally, on local and national interest, the SMH reports Qantas has unveiled its first ultra-long-haul aircraft for Project Sunrise, bringing non-stop Australia-London travel closer and signalling a meaningful shift in long-distance aviation capability.